5, there's a debate heating up in Suwannee County as residents voice their opposition to proposed medical waste incinerator, while locals say the facility is not welcome in their community.
Plus, day 11 of the government shutdown. President Obama meeting with Republican senators trying to find common ground on how to reopen the government, plus avoid defaulting on the debt ceiling.
And a Tallahassee man in jail facing charges after a traffic stop turns into a chase that puts a Leon County Sheriff's deputy in the hospital. The news at 5 starts right now.
Live from the WTXL studios, this is ABC 27's News at 5.
I'd give my last breath to make this thing go away. I really would, because I love the people here.
A group of residents in Suwannee County outraged over a proposed medical waste facility. The plan now to stop the company from building in their area. Good evening, I'm Mika Highsmith.
And I'm Greg Angel. Thank you for joining us for the news at 5. Now, the group is called No Bio Suwannee County, and members have even started their own petition, gathering as of right now more than 600 signatures. WTXL ABC 27's Jade Alexa live for us in the newsroom. And Jade, why are residents so opposed to this medical waste facility?
Greg, emotions are running strong. The residents say they're most concerned with pollution. Pollution, they believe, could hurt the environment and their health. But the president of Integrated Waste Management Systems, Marvin J. Berry, says he doesn't see any long-term problems with the medical incinerators. He says emissions will not harm the environment. The facility would be built on the catalyst site in Suwannee County.
And I would not do this if I did not think that this facility complies with the kind of standards that are not going to harm people or pollute the environment or the streams or anything else.
And the debate is heating up on the proposed facility, and residents are having their own town hall meeting this Sunday at 3 at Millennium Park in Live Oak. Live in the newsroom, Jade Alexa, WTXL ABC 27, dedicated to you.
All right, Jade, thank you. Gadsden County leaders are trying a new effort to draw in business to the area.
Yeah, Gadsden County Commission recently voting 4-1 to begin funding for the Gadsden County Economic Development Council. Now, the council was actually first established in 2000, but this is the first time commissioners are actually providing funding. They're going to be providing $100,000 for the next year. Now, in addition to the Chamber of Commerce, the Economic Development Council is going to be charged with helping local businesses grow and to draw in new opportunities to the area.
Economic development is very important to rural counties and all counties for that matter, and especially in Gadsden County as a part of the Tallahassee metropolitan region. We are interested in developing jobs for citizens in Gadsden County.
New council, we're told, will take over many of the responsibilities held by the chamber, including marketing Gadsden to potential new businesses. We see a video there today, nice and a lot of sunshine in Gadsden County, blue skies, and basically seeing that across much of the viewing area.
Lots of sunshine and rather warm after another cool start this morning.
Also seeing a lot of appetite right now. The Greek Food Festival going on right now.
Oh, how I wish I was there, but things are the way they are, and my duty is to deliver what's looking like a pretty good forecast. So if you are heading out to the Greek Food Festival tonight, Asian Fest tomorrow, any other activities across the region, the weather is going to basically look just like the way it does right now, with Titan radar on a very quiet mode, detecting no major moisture, certainly no rain, sunshine galore. A few scattered clouds, just because it's been that warm to allow a little bit of extra rising air motion into the lower levels, and that's allowed those clouds to mix in with the sun, but not hardly slowing down that warming trend, with temperatures well into the 80s. Not too far from 90, believe it or not, in a few spots earlier this afternoon, mostly because the air is very dry and it warms up very quickly. Our dew point levels are only in the 50s, so there's a little bit of moisture, but it's just not quite enough to give us a lot of humidity or mugginess. So we are having a little extra comfort out there, a little extra warming with a little bit of a northerly flow. That's also limiting the moisture availability across the region. Those north winds are likely to continue through the weekend, and each and every day, both Saturday and Sunday, we may see these little popcorn variety scattered clouds during the peak heating time frame of the afternoon. Mostly sunny in the morning, partly cloudy in the afternoon, and it's the weekend. You can't really complain too much about that. More details ahead in your Storm Team forecast.
That's what people are wondering these days. that maybe the American dream will never be what it used to be.
Florida Senator Marco Rubio with some sobering remarks on the government shutdown. Meanwhile, some of Rubio's Republican colleagues in the Senate meeting today with President Barack Obama, hoping to find some common ground on how to end this government shutdown.
But it's not just ending the shutdown on the agenda. The deadline for raising the debt ceiling now less than a week away, and time is running out to reach a compromise. For continuing coverage from the nation's capital, here's Susan Salmi.
Senate Republicans spent about an hour and a half meeting with President Obama at the White House this afternoon, trying to hash out a deal to extend the debt limit and reopen the government. After that meeting, the president called House Speaker John Boehner.
And the two of them agreed that all sides need to keep talking on the issues here that are confronting us.
One senator, Susan Collins, said she felt encouraged.
He may not want to call it a negotiation. That's what I would call it. And I do view that as progress.
House Republicans went to yesterday's White House meeting with an offer to temporarily raise the debt ceiling for 6 weeks. But today, Harry Reid, the Democratic Senate Majority Leader, said 6 weeks is not nearly enough. He is pushing for a 15-month guarantee.
Using their theory, we would have another one of these periods of bedlam here in Washington right before the most important purchasing season any time during the year, Christmas.
Despite what's happening in Washington, people are looking for ways to get back to normal. Utah announced that it will be reopening its 5 national parks with state funds on Saturday, an attempt to revive the all-important tourist economy there. Arizona, Colorado, and South Dakota have asked for permission to reopen national parks on their own dime, too.
If they open this park, I'm going to have to extend my stay a couple of days.
Given the continuing stalemate, Congress will be working the weekend. Both the House and the Senate are expected to convene on Saturday morning. Susan Salmi, ABC News, Washington.
Well, we know the impact is widespread. Shutdown also causing controversy at a Georgia prison where the inmates are still being paid for manual labor, but the prison guards are working for free. Much more on that story coming up on WTXL ABC 27 News at 6.
And still to come here on the news at 5, a blind man savagely beaten. Surveillance camera saw it all, and so did several bystanders. Now police want to know why no one came to the man's aid.
Plus, the Tallahassee man facing charges after trying to run down a Leon County Sheriff's deputy. Story coming up next.
But first, remember, if you see news happening, give us a call at 850-894-6397. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter, or send us an email to abc27news@wtxl.tv.
No one wants a legal conflict, but sometimes it cannot be avoided. If you want advice about your legal rights, call Thompson, Crawford, and Smiley.
We've been practicing law together for 20 years, pursuing justice on behalf of more than 4,000 clients.
Bankruptcy, business disputes, personal injury, divorce and custody arrangements. We have the experience to handle the most complicated cases. Call our office today and you'll speak with an attorney within 24 hours. Thompson, Crawford, and Smiley, when justice matters.
You love making a difference. That's what you do every day as an occupational therapy assistant. You help people of all ages with disabilities cope with their daily routines. Kaiser University can prepare you to work in schools, homes, and rehab centers, making a difference every day. Prepare for your new career now by calling Kaiser at 1-877-658-7332, 1-877-658-7332.
I'm here with Amy, who already knows about Walmart's one-stop shopping and everyday low prices. But Amy, guess what? Walmart now matches Publix and other stores buy one, get one free offers.
Really?
Yeah, let's check it out. Okay. At Publix, you bought one lunchable, you get the second one free. What's even better, Walmart will now match that.
Love it.
Yeah, and it's already at Walmart's everyday low price.
Better.
And they're awesome. See, now you can get your BOGOs and everyday low prices all in one place.
I'll take it. Yep.
Walmart matched your BOGOs and...
Wow.
I know. Bring your buy one, get one free offers to Walmart and see for yourself.
Our community is amazing, and we can always make it better. Meals on Wheels is an outstanding organization here in our community. Please help us support them. They do a great job in delivering many, many meals to elderly and senior citizens here in the community that would otherwise go hungry. Please refer to the information on the screen and help us when you can. There are many routes and many ways to help. I'm Steve Adams, and I care about our community. That's what makes the Front Porch a dedicated company.
An update now to last night's chase and shooting that put a Leon County Sheriff's deputy in harm's way. This is a photo of 21-year-old Nicholas Smith. He's facing a series of charges, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and resisting arrest. We were there shortly after the end of the chase on Bluntstown Highway, west of Siebes Road. Now, deputies were first told of Smith reportedly driving erratically on Bluntstown Highway near Enon Church Road. As deputies tried pulling Smith over, he took off. Eventually, they got him to stop, but that's when investigators say Smith tried to run down the deputies with his car. One deputy fired 3 shots, hitting Smith in the shoulder and getting them to stop. He was arrested. Now, Smith and the deputy were taken to the hospital. Both will be okay. Smith right now is in the Leon County Jail. That deputy's been placed on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of an internal affairs investigation.
So to come on the news at 5, a show of solidarity from Florida State students promoting pride and equality this National Coming Out Day.
Well, in case you're heading out to Friday night football across our local communities, the weather's just fine. Mostly clear. Kickoff temperatures will be right around 80, so kind of warm. But by the end of the game, maybe even by halftime, it'll be much closer to 70. Warm afternoons ahead for the weekend, and they will look just like this, what you see right now in the Napleton Tower Cam atop the DoubleTree. Lots of sunshine, few scattered lower level clouds. Not much to spoil the weekend weather-wise. We'll discuss it in the Storm Team forecast.
Weather changes at a moment's notice. Don't be left out in the rain because you didn't know. Download the ABC 27 Weather Now interactive weather app, sponsored by the Florida Lottery. Log on to WTXL.TV right now.
At just 15, she was shot in the head because she wanted to go to school, left for dead. That's when she did the impossible. She survived.
Who is Malala?
Tonight at 10, 9 Central, Unbreakable, the life-changing 2020 event on ABC.
It's the Great Dress Event at Ross, featuring the latest fall dresses at unbeatable savings. Like this one, $59 at department stores, but if you want it for less than $25, you gotta go to the Ross Great Dress Event.
What does it take to drive home in a vehicle with impressive fuel economy and great technology that helps you go further? Zero. During the Sign and Ride event at your Southern Ford dealers, get zero money down, zero cash due at signing, and pay zero on your first month's payment on a 2014 Ford Fusion. Lease Fusion for $279 with zero down, zero cash due at signing, and zero first month's payment. Or $199 a month with $25.24 cash due at signing at your Southern Ford dealer.
In less time than you think, you can earn your Master of Business Administration degree from Kaiser University. You can pursue accounting, international business, or health services management. With your MBA, you can advance in your current job or take your career in a whole new direction. This flexible program is designed for the working professional. Classes are starting now. Kaiser University, a reputation built on over 35 years of career-focused education. Call Kaiser now at 888-598-2415.
When it comes to handbags, you just can't beat Ross. You'll find the top brands, the latest styles at unbeatable savings. Like this one, $38 at department stores. But if you want to save more than half, you gotta go to Ross.
This event itself is a great event to have on this day's National Coming Out Day.
Members of the Florida State University student body with a show of pride and solidarity today, celebrating National Coming Out Day. FSU's Pride Student Union hosting an equality march today, beginning at the FSU Integration Statue and then proceeding to the State Capitol building. The event celebrates pride in the LGBT community and calls for continued progress towards equality.
I hope everyone that participates today walks away with, number one, more pride in who they are, either as a member of our community or as an ally. But additionally, we hope that everyone feels they understand and can support the community more, thus that we can overcome all the adversities that we've seen in the past.
The event is part of a national movement with rallies organizing communities all over the country.
Meanwhile, Mika, as students at Florida State University celebrate today in Georgia, one lesbian couple is outraged, they say, after being denied the right to share the same last name on their driver's licenses. Now, they were married in Massachusetts, a state that recognizes same-sex marriage, but the Georgia Constitution prohibits all state agencies from accepting same-sex marriage documentation for any purpose. Jane Watson has more for us tonight.
A few weeks ago, Shakira Tucker took her Massachusetts marriage certificate to the DMV in Sandy Springs and changed her last name. She says no problem.
It's your temporary license. You'll get your permanent one in the mail in 7 to 10 days.
Today, Tucker was issued a new temporary license with only her birth name.
Otherwise, they were going to suspend my license.
This all became a problem when Shakira's wife, Danielle McCollum, took the same certificate to the DMV to change her name and was refused.
This is our petition of 10,000 signatures for you guys.
The issue sparked a petition. The couple delivered more than 10,000 of those petitions to this DMV official today.
I will certainly get it to the appropriate officials of the agency.
As of right now, we have over 10,000 signatures on our petition asking the DMV to end their discriminatory policies.
Tucker and McCollum say they're determined to take each other's last name.
I'm just so upset. I'm so upset with the DMV and the fact that they did this, and they're refusing to accept our marriage certificate as a verifiable document. It's just unacceptable, and it's just pure discrimination.
That was Jay Watson reporting, looking at weather now. Beautiful weekend we have in store.
That's right, about time. Mother Nature been giving us so much rain.
Yeah, we get a chance to dry out, and something for the cool weather folks, and for those who want to wear shorts in the afternoon, something for you too.
All the rain over the summer, Mika doesn't know what to do with the closet full of umbrellas she's been stockpiling here.
Well, maybe take a trip somewhere that could have some rain this weekend, but anywhere locally, very unlikely to get any sort of substantial rain, and the rain chance is 0. So let's not even focus on that possibility, because it just doesn't exist in the forecast, not existing right now. On Titan radar, it is definitely quiet, and deservedly so when you have high pressure and dry air above us. Just a few fair weather clouds developing with the heating that went on earlier today. It'll still be relatively warm for the evening as temperatures slide out of the 80s, but after sunset, give it a couple hours, we'll get back into the 60s and likely to see a few more 50s overnight. Right now, however, it's rather warm, especially away from the coast in some interior sections. Valdosta, you're a prime example, with 86 degrees right now. Thomasville with 82, and Tallahassee in the middle of those two with 84 degrees. Few clouds here and there scattered about the sky, but again, with high pressure around, it's just not going to be allowing any sort of building cloudiness. You may notice the shape of the clouds are kind of puffy, but they're kind of flat as well, and that's a good indication of the presence of high pressure sinking down on the surface and keeping those clouds rather flat, unable to really build vertically to give us any sort of rain chance. So what we see outside is what we're going to get for the evening ahead. Minus the sunshine, of course, but as we lose the heating of the sun, those clouds that we did see will begin to thin out and diminish. And that means a mostly clear sky for the overnight period. And with the close proximity of the high center nearby, we are going to have more periods of light to calm air, which will mean a good chance for enhanced cooling back into the 50s. But the sunshine resumes tomorrow. The high stays basically about where it is now, maybe a slight move to the south. We're going to have mostly a north flow, but there could be light and variable winds at times. Nonetheless, it's still looking fairly nice unless you're looking for a very strong breeze or really, really cold air. Not going to happen. The longer this high stays in place, plus the days of sunshine that we've had, the warmer the air mass will get. So the afternoons have still been warm, but I do expect morning lows to start to creep up the temperature scale going into the early parts of next week. We won't really tap into the Gulf moisture quite yet. A front will try to swing towards the Mississippi River Valley. That could try to alter our weather pattern for early next week, but just not quick enough to have an impact on our weekend weather. Mostly sunny at the beach and offshore. Winds out of the north-northwest, 4 to 10 knots tomorrow, producing seas around 1 foot and smooth to a light chop for bay and inland waters. Sunscreen still needed. UV index still rated on the high side. 56 is the forecast low for tonight. The skies become mainly clear, just a little bit below the average of 59. And tomorrow, above the average of 83, we'll try to aim for 87, and we have a good chance to hit that with a good deal of sunshine and just a few of those afternoon fair weather clouds. Sunday, rain chance stays at 0. We have reintroduced a very slim chance for eastern showers starting Monday. Remember what was Tropical Storm Karen? It's still lingering over the Delmarva Peninsula, and it may actually slide to the south as an upper disturbance. It'll carry some moisture, and the northeast wind around us could tap into that moisture and bring it along the Atlantic coast. So for that reason, slight rain chances early next week.
Almost forgot about that, but it's not often you hear Cass say rain chances 0.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, very rare, especially over the past several months, but now we're getting to that pattern of sustained rain.
All right, Cass, thank you very much.
All right.
Now at 5, it's a situation that certainly a lot of people hope they never have to face. What would you do if you saw someone being beaten on the street? Well, in Philadelphia last week, an attack on a blind man was caught on tape.
The video shows several bystanders witnessing the attack. Now, as Zoraida Sambalin reports, police want to know what caused it and why no one stepped in to help.
The pictures are horrifying. A blind man seen here on police surveillance video being savagely beaten on a Philadelphia street. Police have now released pictures of a suspect, Mustafa Guyton. Officers say Guyton lives near the intersection where that beating took place. They say the 33-year-old victim was walking down the block when the suspect approaches him. Though the camera panned away, you can see in the next shot the suspect kicking the victim and stomping on him, injuring his face and head. Police say after the brutal attack, the suspect picked up a backpack and walked away. Police did not indicate any possible motive for the attack. Even more shocking is that it appears that 3 people walked by, witnessed it, and seemingly did nothing.
It's despicable, really.
And then the guy that does it just walks away like nothing happened. It's kind of ridiculous.
Residents of the neighborhood were just as disgusted that this happened.
People just might not want to get engaged because they think that the perpetrator may be carrying a gun. Being a good Samaritan these days is riskier than it used to be.
So when you see something like that, you want to jump in, but is it the right thing to do for your own safety?
I mean, it's just so hard to believe, not to do anything. And look, you can't put yourself in those person's shoes, but as we say, like every Thursday with Officer Northway, if you see something, say something,
Right.
do something there. But it's just hard to imagine.
Yeah, and tough to watch. Well, still ahead here on the news at 5, the government shutdown has impacted Americans across the country, from employee furloughs to national park closures. But for one teenager, ending the government shutdown could be a matter of life and death, and the clock is ticking.
Live from Tallahassee, Florida, the Holy Mother of God Greek Orthodox Church presents the Greek Food Festival. Bring the entire family this Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Enjoy baklava and other Greek pastries. Stay and enjoy a complete dinner. Have Greek fries. Listen to the music. Watch the dancing. Do some dancing. Free admission and fun for the family. Come for the food and leave with the culture. The Greek Food Festival this Friday and Saturday.
Well, I thought after nearly 30 years in the security industry, I'd seen it all, but I was wrong. Suddenly, your cable company thinks they're in the alarm business, but the system only covers 2 openings. They make you buy their internet package to get it, and then sign a contract that's up to 11 pages long. And the service, well, you know what that's like. If your cable goes out, that's an inconvenience. But if your security system fails, that could be a tragedy. Don't risk it. Call Safe Touch Security.
Zero down on new systems. Already have a system? Pay half price on monitoring for the first year.
I love helping others, and that's my job as a registered nurse. I help people live healthier lives. I treat patients, work with doctors, and teach people to care for their loved ones. I comfort patients and their families when they need it most.
You can become a registered nurse too. Start your nursing career by calling Kaiser University now. Call 1-800-639-2874. That's 1-800-639-2874.
I got tired of using the phone and saying, "What did you say?" Then my daughter gave me a gift that changed my life. Hey Marvin, it's Bill. How you doing, my friend?
If you can't hear well on the phone, now you can read what your caller says. CapTel service uses operator-assisted voice recognition technology to show captions of everything your caller says.
Now I can stay in touch with my buddies, thanks to CapTel.
Learn more about this free service and CapTel phones at capteloffer.com.
The federal government shutdown now on its 11th day, and repercussions that are surprising and sometimes troubling. Among them, the shutdown is holding up critical medical treatment for a teenager in Reno, Nevada, who suffers from a rare genetic disorder. Terry Hendry has his story.
I'm a really big fan of art.
17-year-old Austin Trowbridge of Reno loves art and drawing cartoons. You'd never know by looking at him he suffers from a rare genetic disorder called myelodysplastic syndrome. It's potentially progressive. His stage is considered a pre-leukemia.
Right now, with the disease that I have, hasn't progressed too far yet. It's still early in its stage.
And it's hoped science can keep the disease at bay through an experimental protocol involving a critical bone marrow transplant offered through the National Institutes of Health, a treatment being delayed until the government reopens.
It was really upsetting to hear because it's just a lot less risky to have the procedure done earlier rather than later.
The disorder claimed the life of Austin's brother, Eric, 5 years ago. At the time, Eric was 15 years old.
Less than a year after Eric died, there were red flags raised with Austin's blood results.
Austin's mother, Marquita, says every day Austin's treatment is delayed, his risks grow.
He's in an evolving point that could only go more critical from this point forward.
Like the fantasy cartoons Austin draws, the Trowbridge family calls their situation surreal and frustrating.
This is not something that should be made political fodder.
Austin's mother says that the National Institutes of Health is the last resort for many families facing grave illnesses. She's now urging politicians to ask themselves what they would do if it was their child in the situation.
Interesting stuff there. We have a little bit of a traffic alert to tell you about. If you're going to be going along Mahan Drive tonight, right near the Tallahassee Automobile Museum, you're going to want to watch out. Kind of a country
big
artist.
concert, huh?
Yeah, big concert. Luke Bryan performing tonight out at the Automobile Museum. We're hearing about 15,000 people they're expecting tonight. Mahan Drive already a little backed up, so you're going to want to be careful if you're out that way and give yourself some extra time. Over on Phillips Road, by the way, the Greek Food Festival going on tonight and tomorrow. The Experience Asia Festival going on this weekend. The Hopkins Power Plant Tour
weather
on
for
Sunday.
It all, so.
Exactly, beautiful weather. So much more on all those events coming up, and the weather as well coming up on the news at 5:30.
Let's check in now with Rockman Johnson.
Mika, Greg, tonight the family of Kendrick Johnson is asking the community for help. Now, friends and family, as well as supporters, are gathering tomorrow in Valdosta for a walk to remember the teen and to hopefully convince someone to come forward with more details. The latest is on the way. Plus, one Florida House Republican is in hot water with the Ethics Commission. He's admitted to wrongdoing. Fines could be in his future. And as the government shutdown continues, some states are opting to use other funds to get the parks back up and running. We'll tell you where. With news from Magnolia Park, downtown, and your neighborhood. The news at 5:30 is up next.
When it comes to keeping the family happy, there's no place like Academy Sports and Outdoors. They have low prices every day on things we love, like footwear for running or hanging out, apparel that looks great, gear for team sports, everything for camping, hunting, and fishing, all kinds of bikes, even stuff for the backyard. And if I do find a lower price, they'll match it. Great memories start at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
The right stuff, the low price every day. Academy.
Want to get your hands on some of this? Yeah, we thought so. And now's a great time to do it. During Nissan's Easy Choice sales event, choose to go further, connect better, get in easier, and get your hands on a great deal too. Save up to $2,000 on Altima or get 0% APR on Sentra. The choice is yours. Shop today at ChooseNissan.com.
Our community is amazing, but we can always make it better.
My name is Nick Maddox. I'm here to tell you about the Omega Invitational. We need you there on October 25th, 2013 at Southwood Golf Club to make sure we can raise money for youth development and prostate cancer. Without you, it's not possible. We need you there October 25th.
I'm Brian Bower, and I care about our community. That's what makes Palmetto Security Services a dedicated company.
What does it take for a career in medical assisting? It takes a desire to help people and a connection with your patients. It takes character and caring, knowing that what you do helps someone every day. And it takes a professional education that's been proven over time from a university connected to your community. Kaiser University, a reputation built on more than 30 years of career-focused education. Call Kaiser at 1-888-521-9838 or go online at kaiseru.com.
This weekend at American Freight, 2 mattress sets, any size, only $298 complete. Get a twin and a full and a queen. Get a queen and a king, 2 kings, 2 queens, 2 mattress sets, any size, only $298 complete. Famous names like Simmons, Stewart, and Hamilton. Free layaway, same-day delivery. This weekend only at American Freight in Tallahassee, 3170 West Tharp. Phone 504-1000. That's 504-1000.
Live from the WTXL studios, this is ABC 27's News at 5:30.
The family of Valdosta teen Kendrick Johnson is planning a special day tomorrow to celebrate the life of their son. Good evening, I'm Rockman Johnson. You're inside the news at 5:30. Thanks so much for joining us. And tonight, Kendrick Johnson would have turned 18 years old on yesterday, but the question remains, what happened to KJ? Now, Johnson was found dead rolled up in a wrestling mat in the Lowndes County High School gym. Investigators say his death was an accident, but his family believes he was killed, and they want the case reopened. Now, they've asked Tallahassee attorney Ben Crump to be a part of the investigation. But tomorrow, they'll put that aside and they'll celebrate Kendrick's life.
I walked into his room, and I kissed his picture and said, "Happy birthday, Kendrick." You know, his dreams, memories will always be with us. It will never leave.
Now, the event is called A Day in the Park. It's tomorrow, and it's to honor his memory. Throughout the day, friends, family, classmates, everyone will come and share their fond memories of KJ. There'll be activities for kids, they'll have food, a basketball tournament, and live entertainment. They will also release balloons in memory of Kendrick. Now, it will be held at the J.W. Saunders Park, that's in Valdosta, from 9 to 4. We've got all the details on our website, and everyone in the community is welcome to attend. Well, still in Valdosta tonight, a teen is recovering after being rolled over by a train. Police say they responded to a railroad crossing on South Forest Street to find a 16-year-old whose leg had been severed by a train. Witnesses say he was crawling underneath the train, dragging a bicycle to get to the other side when the train started moving. Now, the boy is recovering at Shands Medical Center, but his condition hasn't been released. And a top Florida House leader admits he violated the law. Representative Eric Frison, a Republican from Miami, has reached an agreement with the Ethics Commission over charges that he failed to properly disclose his finances. Now, the agreement calls for the ethics case to be referred to the House of Representatives for final sentencing. And Florida is joining Mississippi in a lawsuit over flood insurance rates. Governor Rick Scott and Attorney General Pam Bondi are announcing they'll file a friend of the court brief that backs the state of Mississippi's lawsuit against the federal government. Now, flood insurance rates for homeowners increased on October 1st because of a 2012 federal law. Florida is not filing its own lawsuit right now, but Bondi says that they're not ruling that option out. Now, in Georgia tonight, an ethics investigation involving Governor Nathan Deal is moving forward. The FBI is taking a closer look into allegations that the governor misused campaign funds. A former IT specialist with the Georgia Ethics Commission was fired and says that at the direction of his bosses, he removed and manipulated dozens of documents related to an ethics case against the governor. Now, during that time, those two ethics investigators were abruptly fired.
I think that they had sufficient information and proof to move forward with an investigation on the governor, and they were ready to sign the subpoena. I feel that there are individuals that were also on the commission that asked her to be quiet.
Now, the two investigators filed a wrongful termination lawsuit against the state after they were fired, and then they were fired. Now, after that, the case against the governor reportedly fell apart, and there was a proposed $70,000 fine that ended up costing just $3,000. Now, we're learning the FBI has been speaking with the attorney for the State Ethics Commission in recent days. And Governor Deal has denied any wrongdoing. He says he was a point person for a political agenda among Ethics Commission staffers. Well, Chief Meteorologist Casanova Nurse joins us to talk about the weather, and this weekend is going to be busy. There's the Greek Fest, there's Experience Asia, there's so many things going on this weekend, and from my understanding, fingers crossed, the weather will hold up. It'll be pretty mild and no water, yeah?
Indeed. We don't have the question marks that we had last week when we had a tropical storm in the Gulf. It's all quiet, high pressure is around, so there's very solid evidence that our fine weather will continue for the next couple of days, and the timing couldn't be much better because, of course, we're on the verge of the weekend. Many folks already starting off their weekends. We've had abundant sunshine past several days, and this streak of sunny days and warm afternoons and cool mornings, it's not going to break for the weekend. So Titan radar is going to stay quiet. The nearest rain, if you're looking for it, well, if you're traveling perhaps towards the Hampton Roads area or maybe towards Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina, those areas. Maybe if you're heading west to New Orleans, maybe a few showers there. But if you're staying here in North Florida, South Georgia, not going to have rain this weekend, just a few scattered afternoon clouds with the daytime heating. The night ahead also dry, as the cloudiness that we do have in some areas will thin out and diminish, and that means a clear streak for your late night hours with temperatures falling into the 60s even before midnight. All the information you need to know about your weekend outlook coming up in your Storm Team forecast.
The Department of the Interior says it's considering working with states' governors who offer to use state funds to open their parks. That means some national parks could reopen if the states put up the cash. Now, there are over 400 national parks that have closed because of the government shutdown, and 20,000 employees have been furloughed. It's likely that national parks in Georgia will remain closed during the shutdown. The governor's office has said they will not use state funds to reopen those parks. But the governors of Utah, South Dakota, Arizona, and Colorado have asked the Obama administration to allow them to take up the bill. That way they can return their state's parks to normal operation. One state's governor has even taken the shutdown into his own hands, using state money to reopen these parks.
At Zion National Park, at least, the government shutdown is over.
Utah is leading the way. We understand the challenges out there in Washington, D.C. We've worked together to try to find a solution that makes sense. That's the proverbial win-win.
A new deal signed by Utah's governor sends state money to the federal government, which will allow the Park Service to reopen 5 national parks and 3 other tourist spots.
It's good to hear that the park's going to get back open and people are going to be able to get back to work in their normal routine.
Nearby businesses like outdoor clothing stores and restaurants have seen huge drops in business since the start of the shutdown. Governor Gary Herbert says the deal will help protect the economy of rural Utah.
The bed and breakfasts, the small restaurants, the people that really make their livelihood on tourism and travel, this is a godsend to them. They've been decimated because of this.
In Washington, a meeting between the president, the vice president, and the House Republican leadership seemed to offer some of the first dialogue on the shutdown.
We had a very useful meeting. It was clarifying, I think, for both sides as to where we are.
President Barack Obama continues to press House Republicans to fully fund the government right away, while GOP leadership pushed for a 6-week extension of the debt ceiling deadline to be followed by negotiations on the shutdown. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
The Tallahassee Board of Realtors is having a whale of a celebration. They stopped by the news at sunrise. We've got the details. Plus, there's a major drug bust at the Baton Rouge Airport in Louisiana.
This is a very sizable seizure. It's roughly $1 million street value worth of cocaine.
The latest is on the way. Now, the Federal Reserve has a history of more than 100 years, and its apolitical chairs serve at the pleasure of the president. But there's one thing they all have in common. They're men, and that could all be changing. Janet Yellen, who's the current vice chair, is nominated for chair at a time when markets are still on the edge. Tonight, we'll look at Dr. Yellen and the problems she may be facing if she takes the reins. Join the discussion on Bounce News at 7, TV and news our way.
Titan Doppler Radar is sponsored by Kraft Nissan.
My job every day is helping people become successful. And the funny part is that that's exactly what they do at Kaiser University. You know, Kaiser University opened some doors for me. It created a new level of respect that I really didn't experience before. I don't think I would have had these opportunities had I not gone and gotten my MBA at Kaiser University.
On my right is the new Dodge Durango with up to 360 horsepower. On my left is one horse with 1 horsepower. It makes you feel pretty dumb, doesn't it? This thing is literally 360 times more powerful than you. Staring contest, go. I win.
House, casa, crib, pad, shack, home, abode, headquarters. No matter what you call it, it's your home. Build it how you want it. At America's Home Place, you can choose your dream home from over 100 exciting floor plans. Call 1-800-NEW-HOUSE today or visit us online at americashomeplace.com. America's Home Place, the home you want, where you want it.
Live from Tallahassee, Florida, the Holy Mother of God Greek Orthodox Church presents the Greek Food Festival. Bring the entire family this Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Enjoy baklava and other Greek pastries. Stay and enjoy a complete dinner. Have Greek fries. Listen to the music. Watch the dancing. Do some dancing. Free admission and fun for the family. Come for the food and leave with the culture. The Greek Food Festival this Friday and Saturday.
On the news at Sunrise this morning, we sat down with Tallahassee Board of Realtors and their team about the presidential gala that's happening next week.
It's going to be a fun night. It's going to be a Vegas casino night. The live band Low Flying Planes is going to be there. We're going to have an opportunity to win a $950 diamond bracelet. We're going to have giveaways, getaways, as I said, the Vegas night, a dance competition. It's just going to be a fun night.
Now, it all goes down next Friday at the Florida State University Alumni Center. For all the details, log on to WTXL.tv. And be sure to join Abby Maurer on the news at Sunrise each and every weekday morning right here from 5 to 7 on ABC 27. Now, as the news at 5:30 continues, a major bust by the National Guard keeps more than a ton of drugs off the streets. We'll tell you where. And the political battle continues in Washington. It's day 11 of the shutdown, and the House and the Senate have their own plans on how to raise the debt ceiling. We'll take a look and see how that could affect your pocketbook. But first, our chief meteorologist, Casanova Nurse, is standing by at the Weather Center. Cass?
Well, maybe our sunny weather will take your mind off of some of the political chaos across the country. High pressure sticking around, slow to move. Eventually it will, but not in time for the weekend. We're going to continue with cool mornings, warm afternoons, and no rain chances. Napleton Tower Cam atop the Doubletree. It's still mostly sunny, just a few of those scattered afternoon clouds, which should fade off with the sunset coming up in about an hour and a half or so. More information in your Storm Team forecast.
Weather changes at a moment's notice. Don't be left out in the rain because you didn't know. Download the ABC 27 Weather Now interactive weather app, sponsored by the Florida Lottery. Log on to WTXL.tv right now.
At just 15, she was shot in the head because she wanted to go to school. Left for dead. That's when she did the impossible. She survived.
Who is Malala?
Tonight at 10, 9 Central, Unbreakable, the life-changing 2020 event on ABC.
Congratulations to Don Bailey, the first winner of the Florida Getaway Giveaway. We're sending them to Miami to swim with dolphins at the Miami Seaquarium with 3-night stay at the historic Biltmore Hotel, air transportation, and a Hertz rental car. Tune in Sunday night for ABC 27's News at 11 when we reveal trip number 2 and share what you love about Florida with #LoveFL, the Florida Getaway Giveaway, presented by ShareALittleSunshine.org and WTXL ABC 27.
You love making a difference. That's what you do every day as an occupational therapy assistant. You help people of all ages with disabilities cope with their daily routines. Kaiser University can prepare you to work in schools, homes, and rehab centers, making a difference every day. Prepare for your new career now by calling Kaiser at 1-877-658-7332, 1-877-658-7332.
At SafeTouch, we spare no expense to bring you the very best in security. That's why I built our central station strong enough to withstand natural disasters. We utilize one of the largest fiber optic centers in the Southeast, the latest in high-tech receivers, triple redundancy computers with backup power for more than 30 days, and every SafeTouch two-way alarm is worked by multiple operators. If your cable goes out, it's an inconvenience, but if your security goes out, it could be a tragedy. Don't risk it. Call SafeTouch Security.
Systems start as low as $1 a day.
The Coast Guard seized more than a ton of illegal drugs at sea, and the suspected smugglers, well, they're in custody. Now, authorities say that the heist is, or the haul rather, is worth about $16 million wholesale.
We have more than 2,100 pounds of marijuana and 420 kilos of cocaine that will not be making its way into the United States.
Police say the drugs were, that bust rather, was a part of the tag team effort between the Coast Guard and its international partners. The seizure happened off the coast of Colombia. And police in Louisiana made a major cocaine bust at the Baton Rouge airport. 3 men were arrested in what was meant to be a fuel stop from Texas to Atlanta. Now, Baton Rouge police, immigration, and customs found a total of 72 pounds of cocaine. The street value for those drugs, nearly $1 million. Well, we're coming up on nearly 2 weeks of a government shutdown. President Obama and House Speaker John Boehner agreed in a phone call that talks should continue on ending the shutdown and avoiding a possible default of the country. But the president has some concerns with the latest proposal. Now, there are ideas coming from both Congress and the White House, but there's still not an actual breakthrough. From Washington, Shannon Travis has the latest.
After 11 days of the partial government shutdown, could there be new hope?
Yesterday, for the first time, we sat down and talked. I think we can get all this resolved if we can actually sit down and face to face and start working this out.
The House could vote on a Republican plan to temporarily raise the debt limit, sources say. The House GOP plan would shift the U.S. borrowing limit by 6 weeks so the government can pay its bills, extending the debt ceiling through November 22nd. In exchange, Democrats, including Obama, would have to engage in deficit reduction talks during those 6 weeks. Still out there, reopening the government, something the House plan does not include, but the president wants. House Democrats are putting the pressure on.
The Republican caucus shut down the government. That is clear. Their intransigence shut down the government, and they're threatening to default on the national debt.
Meanwhile, the Senate has its own idea. Their proposal raised the debt ceiling, but also include money to reopen the government. It would also slash the tax on medical devices and Obamacare. Republican senators met with the president at the White House Friday. Meanwhile, some Republicans attended the Values Voters Summit, an annual conference for social conservatives. Talk of the shutdown was on tap.
We've seen an explosion of federal government power, none more important or significant or dangerous than Obamacare.
In Washington, I'm Shannon Travis.
Chief Meteorologist Casanova Nurse joins us, and here's something we can agree on, because they definitely can't agree in Washington as they go back and forth. We can agree that the weather here in Tallahassee is pretty darn nice.
Very nice indeed. Yeah. It's tough to resist a lot of sunshine and a lot of comfort with mild temperatures and really no rain chance.
That's a good thing, especially we're right on the start of the weekend, so I think we're all ready to kind of get out of the house a little bit before it starts getting cooler and cooler and cooler.
That is for sure. So if you're staying close to our region, looking just fine, but in case if you're heading northeast with the Rattlers, surprisingly enough, all of our home games, Valdosta played on Thursday, FSU is off, and our other football team is heading to Savannah. So if you're heading that way, the weather will be fine as well. Very close to our region, still underneath that dominating high pressure. So the kickoff tomorrow evening, kind of warm, but during the game it will be cooling down with a clear sky and a light northwest wind around Savannah. And if you are interested in some of the other regional teams, well, here's a check of their forecasts as well. The Bulldogs staying in Athens, where it's going to be 72. In Baton Rouge, that's where the Gators are going. It will be a little bit more humid and slightly warmer. And the Bulls of USF heading up towards Connecticut, where it's going to be much colder and a little cloudy. But again, back to that local focus, that great event, the Experience Asia 2013, Bloxham and Lewis Parks downtown. Oh, so gorgeous with a lot of sunshine You can even dress lightly in the afternoon because we'll be well into the 80s and just a few stray clouds. Fortunately, unlike last week when things were canceled because of tropical concerns, well, this weekend does not feature anything tropical in our region. The Gulf is very quiet. The open waters of the Atlantic featuring some waves of moisture, nothing too organized except for one feature, which is in between the Cape Verde and the Lesser Antilles regions. It's got about another 12 to 24-hour window of opportunity for strengthening, and it has shown a little extra form, but not likely to have any kind of local impacts. Titan radar, of course, quiet, just showing it as a formality because we certainly don't have anything to track on it because of the continued presence of high pressure. And it's so slow to move, it's been around for several days. And one thing to keep in mind, the air mass wasn't really cold to begin with, but after 3-4 days worth of warm sunshine, even the morning temperatures will begin to respond a little bit higher. So we will still squeeze out a couple more sweater weather mornings, tomorrow morning, Sunday morning perhaps, but perhaps on Monday we'll start to get a little more moisture coming back, and again, several warm afternoons should modify the air mass and keep our morning lows a little bit milder going into early next week. Forecast and focus, basically putting in a graphical display what we've been describing for quite some time now, a mostly sunny trend for your Saturday and perhaps even into Sunday. The mornings will be clear and the air will be rather still, so we could have a little extra cooling. I still expect some 50s, but tomorrow and Sunday looking quite ideal if you're looking for a lot of sunshine. And not just here, but really throughout much of the southeast, with mild temperatures even into middle Georgia, into Alabama will be in the 80s, and even into the peninsula. Maybe a little more humidity because of the nearby bodies of water, but even temperatures in Central and South Florida, not too extreme, mid-80s, some upper 80s, so maybe if South Beach is your destination, looking pretty good there. If maybe St. George Island is your destination, looking absolutely perfect. But then we start to throw back a little bit of extra rain potential. Some Atlantic moisture may try to creep in on Monday, so precautionary eastern, less than 20% coverage. Really no big significant rain chances until maybe late next week.
You know, because it's so cool, I've heard some people say they were thinking about hitting some haunted houses around town. Might be kind of fun for that this weekend.
It could be, and the weather pattern just ideal for it.
Good stuff. Thanks so much, Cass.
All right.
Tonight, country star Luke Bryan is taking over Tallahassee. That's right, he'll be at the Tallahassee Automobile Museum, and Mayhem Drive is completely packed. Everybody on my hand said they are flooded trying to get there. It's the 7th of 8 concerts. It's his 5th annual farm tour. That's a string of performances that are actually fundraisers for student scholarships.
I guess it's his style, man. He's just he's a younger guy. He's a fraternity guy. He really focuses on the college life, and everyone liked that. I mean, they really like that, and he's big on the partying scene, and that's what we do here in Tallahassee.
Now, the next stop on his tour is Valdosta. That happens on Saturday. Then he'll resume his Dirt Road Diaries tour on October 17th, and then it's back to Nashville. Well, of course, tonight it's time to take a look at your money. Google is getting more social, and companies are trying to import or export, maybe experiencing some delays because of the government shutdown. We've got details on those stories with Bloomberg's Deborah Costrin. It's the Bloomberg Business Report.
Markets closed out the week higher on speculation lawmakers were making progress towards an agreement on raising the debt limit. Well, American exporters and some companies trying to ship products into the U.S. say they are finding new roadblocks as the shutdown in Washington spreads overseas. The furlough of hundreds of thousands of federal workers has slowed the processing of goods like pesticides, steel, and computer chips. Well, J.P. Morgan Chase posted its first ever quarterly loss under CEO Jamie Dimon's tenure, and they also announced plans to cut 11,000 mortgage banking jobs by the end of the year. Well, Google adding more social features amid increasing competition from Facebook and Twitter. If you use Google Plus to rate a product or service, your friends could see an ad that includes your photo along with what you said about that product. Those changes take effect November 11th. Speaking of Google, the company, along with Goldman Sachs, General Electric, and IBM, will be releasing their latest quarterly results in the coming week. I'm Deborah Costrin with the Bloomberg After the Bell Report.
There's more of the news at 5:30 on the way, but first, Mika Highsmith is standing by in the newsroom for a look at what to expect on the news at 6. Mika, what you working on?
Rockman, coming up tonight on the news at 6, residents in Suwannee County fired up over a proposed medical waste incinerator. The company says the facility will be safe for the environment, but residents say it is not welcome in their community. Plus, the federal government shutdown affecting Americans all over the country and now creating controversy in Georgia. We'll take you to one prison where the inmates still get paid, but the guards are now working for free. Covering Live Oak, Valdosta, and your hometown, the News at 6 starts in just minutes.
Get ready for CenturyLink's best bundle offer ever. The one bundle that gives you interactive Prism TV, fast internet, and home phone. All at a bundled monthly price that won't change for 2 years. You get Prism TV with up to 240 channels, a whole home DVR, HBO, Stars, Showtime, and HD, all included. Plus up to 20 meg high-speed internet and unlimited nationwide calling, too. It's a deal that has people saying, worth every penny, and you have to get it. So don't miss out. Call 855-448-6356 to find out what everyone's talking about. And the best part, your monthly price won't change for 2 years. Guaranteed. Saving you $30 a month or more. And that really adds up. So don't wait. Get CenturyLink's best bundle offer ever. Call 855-448-6356 right now.
I love helping others, and that's my job as a registered nurse. I help people live healthier lives. I treat patients, work with doctors, and teach people to care for their loved ones. I comfort patients and their families when they need it most.
You can become a registered nurse too. Start your nursing career by calling Kaiser University now. Call 1-800-639-2874. That's 1-800-639-2874.
Need a reason to drive a Ford with EcoBoost technology? I got 10.
I feel like I'm driving a race car. More horsepower and more gas mileage. It's just a great combination.
Another great thing? Ford mileage beats Toyota in every segment we compete. Moving on.
Handling.
Sleek and cool.
Technology.
Assisted parking. Feels safe.
And finally, drum roll please.
Getting that kind of gas mileage is awesome.
Bingo.
Get a Ford Focus with 0% financing plus $2,000 bonus cash or $3,500 total cash back at your Southern Ford dealer.
When I think of myself, I have a lot to do, so I think that it's really an early age.
Now, that was Malala Yousafzai saying she wasn't sure that it was time for her to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And today, the Nobel Committee agreed with her, giving the award to the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons.
But I think there will be a great deal of understanding and sympathy for this year's prize.
Now, the organization will receive a special diploma, a medal, and a cash award valued at about $1.2 million US. And the Prime Minister of Libya is back at the helm of government tonight.
Yesterday, this crime of kidnapping the Prime Minister, the people of this country condemn and do not accept. But this is all to do with legitimacy of the nation.
Now, he was kidnapped yesterday and then released unharmed just hours after he was taken. Libya's foreign minister says that it was an internal political disagreement and that foreigners in Libya are not at risk. And they're putting the pedal to the metal in Cuba. It's a classic car race that some say is habit forming.
This is a sickness, he says, like alcoholism, except more expensive. I want to quit, but I can't.
Now, the Cuban government permits the races in hopes that they'll cut down on illegal and dangerous competitions that have recently been on the rise. The news at 5:30 continues. Back in a moment.
On my right is the new Dodge Durango with up to 360 horsepower. On my left is one horse with 1 horsepower. It makes you feel pretty dumb, doesn't it? This thing is literally 360 times more powerful than you. Staring contest, go. I win.
Hi, I'm David Fonville, and I've been practicing law here in Tallahassee for more than 40 years. During that time, I've seen a lot of personal injury law firms come and go, but our firm has always been here for you. Right on the back of your phone book, ready to help whenever you need us. I truly hope that no one in your family is ever injured, but if that does happen, please call the law firm that has stood the test of time. Fonville, Lewis, Foote & Messer, personal injury law, it's all we do.
In less time than you think, you can earn your Master of Business Administration degree from Kaiser University. You can pursue accounting, international business, or health services management. With your MBA, you can advance in your current job or take your career in a whole new direction. This flexible program is designed for the working professional. Classes are starting now. Kaiser University, a reputation built on over 35 years of career-focused education. Call Kaiser now at 888-598-2415.
I'm here with Amy, who already knows about Walmart's one-stop shopping and everyday low prices. But Amy, guess what? Walmart now matches Publix and other stores buy one, get one free offers.
Really?
Yeah, let's check it out. Okay. At Publix, you bought one lunchable, you get the second one free. What's even better, Walmart will now match that.
Love it.
Yeah, and it's already at Walmart's everyday low price.
Better.
And they're awesome. See, now you can get your BOGOs and everyday low prices all in one place.
I'll take it. Yep.
Walmart matched your BOGOs and...
Wow.
I know. Bring your buy one, get one free offers to Walmart and see for yourself.
Skycam brought to you by Napleton Infinity, home of the lifetime warranty.
All right, lots of sunshine for the weekend, a few afternoon clouds with afternoon heating, and it's going to be kind of warm in the mid and upper 80s, but the morning lows kind of counterbalances that heat. Will stay in the 50s for the next couple mornings.
Well, I know that people are getting ready for all of the festivities this weekend, and the good thing is we have the weather to sustain it.
That's right, just fine.
Good stuff. Time for you to join Mika and Greg for the news at 6, and that starts right now. Good night.
Live from the WTXL studios, this is ABC 27's News at 6.
I'd give my last breath to make this thing go away. I really would, because I love the people here.
Residents in Suwannee County outraged over a proposed medical waste facility. The plan now to stop the company from building in the area. Good evening, I'm Mika Highsmith.
And I'm Greg Angel. Thank you for joining us for WTXL ABC 27 News at 6. Now, this group is called No Bios Suwannee County, and members have even started their own petition, gathering as many as more than 600 signatures. We're going to have much more on this story in just a moment, but we begin first tonight with a live look from our tower cam overlooking downtown Tallahassee. You can see the sun's starting to set here on this Friday, big weekend. A lot of events going on tonight and throughout the weekend. And we're going to start with Chief Meteorologist Casanova Nurse, who Mika's kind of delivering some news that Cass really doesn't say all that much.
Yeah, 0% chance of rain. Can't believe it.
No rain coverage around here. We're going to have just dry weather for the weekend. Not complete sunshine like yesterday was. We did see a few scattered clouds forming today. None of those clouds containing rain, just not building vertically enough and just not enough moisture around the region. So what we see here is what we're going to see tomorrow and again on Sunday. We'll just have a few intermittent clouds passing through and mixing in with the sunshine during the next couple of afternoons. But it's looking just okay. Okay is probably putting it lightly. This is probably one of the better weather weekends we've had in quite some time. And there's really nothing around the region to spoil it, because the high pressure area is so broad and expansive, stretching from basically the Ohio Valley all the way south into the central and southern Gulf. And that's providing us with that stable airflow, giving us no big return flow of moisture coming in from the Gulf. So a lot of backing behind that 0% rain coverage and probability for tonight, tomorrow, and all the weekend. For the evening specifically, in case you're heading out to some of the activities and events, it's going to stay rather ideal as temperatures decline through the 70s into the 60s late. And what few clouds we have right now should be gone by midnight. More information ahead in your Storm Team forecast.
Turning now to news from across Georgia. The family of Valdosta teenager Kendrick Johnson is planning a special day tomorrow to celebrate the life of their son. Johnson would have turned 18 years old yesterday, but in January he was found dead in a rolled-up wrestling mat at Lowndes High School. Lowndes County Sheriff investigators ruled his death a freak accident, but Johnson's family believes he was killed, and they want the case reopened. Johnson's parents have enlisted the help of Tallahassee attorney Benjamin Crump. Kendrick's family is holding a day in the park tomorrow to honor his memory. Throughout the day, friends, classmates, and family will share their fondest memories of Kendrick. There will be activities for children, food, a basketball tournament, as well as live entertainment. They will also release balloons in memory of the teen. It's being held at J.W. Saunders Park in Valdosta from 9 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. All are welcome to attend.
Well, day 11 now, and still seems to be no compromise between Democrats and Republicans in Washington, D.C. as the government shutdown continues. And there's been many effects, especially locally. But at a federal prison in Georgia, new controversy over just who does and who does not take the brunt of the shutdown.
One of the most stressful environments amongst the criminals. And on top of all of that, you're asking us to do a job and we're not even getting paid.
Well, many of the prisoners performing manual labor within the facility here as well as outside in the community are still being paid. They're still being compensated for their work. However, the federal guards who watch over the prisoners have been deemed essential, so they're continuing to work during the shutdown, but they're not being paid.
You know, once they stop paying me, I don't know how I'm going to feed my family. I don't know how I'm going to keep the roof on my head and the lights on.
So again, many of those employees, like some 850,000 federal employees who have been furloughed, still trying to figure out how to make ends meet. The guards say they've received messages of sympathy and support, not only from the local union, but also from some of the prison inmates as well.
And still ahead here on the news at 6, 2 popular national grocers opening their doors within days of each other. We'll take you inside the latest additions to the Tallahassee area.
Plus, the Mediterranean and Far East coming to the Big Bend for a festival-filled weekend. You can join in on all the fun.
But first, remember, if you see news happening, give us a call at 850-894-6397. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter, or send us an email to abc27news@wtxl.tv.
Hello, I'm Jane Marks, and I'm inviting you to come to one of Tallahassee's biggest events, the 9th Annual Experience Asia Festival, Saturday, October 12th from 10 to 5 at Bloxham and Lewis Parks. See non-stop cultural performances and demonstrations while enjoying great Asian cuisine. For more information, visit the website or call the numbers on your screen. The 9th Annual Asian Festival, brought to you in part by WTXL ABC 27, dedicated to you.
I'm Robin.
And I'm Chris.
We're the brothers behind Firehouse Subs. The last thing anyone needed was another sub shop.
They needed a better one.
We built Firehouse Subs on quality and quantity.
And I'm the quality.
Why my quantity?
Are you kidding?
Try our hook and ladder sub.
Smoked turkey breast, Virginia honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese.
Yeah, all served steaming hot on a toasted sub roll. Our way beats their way. If you don't agree,
it's free.
On him.
It's on him.
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
It's the Great Dress Event at Ross, starring you. You'll find an incredible collection of the latest fall dresses at unbeatable savings. If you want the same dresses as department stores at a fraction of the price, you gotta go to the Ross Great Dress Event on now.
You ready to spend Columbus Day going from store to store price shopping appliances? Man, I hope you said no.
Just stop by this one Columbus Day sale and save up to 25% on appliances, electronics, furniture, and more. Christopher Columbus wants you to have an LG 60-inch HD TV for just $7.99, and Samsung front-load washers and dryers are just $6.99 each.
You ready to get in, get out, and get on with whatever it is people do on Columbus Day? Come to H.H. Gregg.
We know the best deal, so you don't have to.
Unclaimed freight notice this weekend at American Freight. Over 1,000 truckloads of living room furniture. 7-piece living room groups that include a sofa, love seat, coffee table, 2 end tables, and 2 designer lamps. You get all 7 pieces from only $398 complete. Free layaway, same-day delivery. Come to the Looney Docks this weekend only at American Freight in Tallahassee, 3170 West Tharp. Phone 504-1000. That's 504-1000.
Some road closures in Gadsden County that may affect your commute next week. The westbound outside lane of U.S. Highway 90 will be closed from New Bethel AME Church to Hilltop Drive in Gadsden County. The closure will begin Monday and last through next Saturday. It will allow trucks to enter and exit the site of the ongoing Quincy Bypass project. Drivers are cautioned to use extra care when traveling through the construction zones on U.S. 90 as well as State Road 12. Speeding fines will be doubled while workers are present.
Mika, all the new stores in town also having an impact on traffic. We'll talk about that coming up here on the news at 6, plus a festival-filled weekend on tap for our area, including including food and fun from all over the world, how you can get in and all the action coming up. Big question, though, how's Mother Nature going to be treating us for all these festivals, Cass?
I'd say pretty sweetly, with a lot of ongoing dry air and high pressure around. Temperatures through the evening falling towards 80, dropping below that level, and that will probably be the case tomorrow evening as well. Here's how it looks currently from the Napleton Tower Cam atop the DoubleTree Hotel. We had some scattered clouds, but as said before, with the loss of heating, we lose the cloudiness. We will transition to a clear sky later tonight. Weekend weather information in abundance in your Storm Team forecast.
Titan Doppler Radar is sponsored by Kraft Nissan.
This is the Campbell's new Honda Pilot. The same car that will take 5 very athletic kids and 1 cellist to a great many extracurriculars. With the Bluetooth that will get them ready for wins and also a few losses. And the rear view camera that will help keep an eye on just about everything.
Come on, George.
Start something special now with the Pilot from the most durable, longest-lasting brand in its class. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Any store can tell you about saving. At Publix, we love to show you how to save more. Check out our weekly ad, full of savings. Buy one, get one free? How awesome is that? BOGO, BOGO, BOGO. Savings, 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 savings everywhere. Plus, we're really coupon friendly, so you know you'll be saving like a champ. Coupon here, here. It just takes a little planning. You love to shop here? You'll love to save here. Come on, let's go save some money. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
What does it take for a career in medical assisting? It takes a desire to help people and a connection with your patients. It takes character and caring, knowing that what you do helps someone every day. And it takes a professional education that's been proven over time from a university connected to your community. Kaiser University, a reputation built on more than 30 years of career-focused education. Call Kaiser at 1-888-521-9838 or go online at kaiseru.com.
My mom is a survivor. My mom is a survivor.
My mom is a survivor.
Survivor. My mom is a survivor.
Over the years, thousands of Belk customers and their families have faced breast cancer. That's why, at Belk Department Stores, pink is our passion. From our mobile mammography center to local fundraising efforts, Belk is committed to supporting breast cancer awareness and research.
My mom's a survivor, and so am I.
Nearly 250,000 women will be diagnosed this year, so join us and make pink your passion.
Want to get your hands on some of this? Yeah, we thought so. And now's a great time to do it. During Nissan's Easy Choice sales event, choose to go further, connect better, get in easier, and get your hands on a great deal too. Save up to $2,000 on Altima or get 0% APR on Sentra. The choice is yours. Shop today at ChooseNissan.com.
Had a ton of people asking for a Trader Joe's here. Tallahassee has tons of foodies.
Another major retailer opening their doors in Tallahassee today.
A lot of people are excited. A long line of folks for the opening of the new Trader Joe's store. The new 13,000 square foot store has been taking over the former tax collector's office in the Carriage Gate Shopping Center on Thomasville Road. Taking a look at some of the video here. A busy opening day for them. Earlier today, they invited hundreds of people through the front door here on the first day. And to really kick it off, 8 in the morning, company leaders hosting a bit of a lei cutting ceremony to officially open their store in Tallahassee.
Trader Joe's is your neighborhood grocery store. So for Tallahassee, this is a reflection of the neighborhood. All our artwork that's in the store are depictions of Tallahassee, the state capitol buildings behind us, the Canopy Road over my shoulder. The crew that we have here are Tallahassee residents. It's all local. So it's just, we're your local grocery store.
Kind of like in the tropics here, kind of like in the Hawaiian shirts there. Well, Trader Joe's again on Thomasville Road inside the Carriage Gate Shopping Center. Mika, this is just the latest major retailer to open up even just this week here in Capital City.
You got that right, Greg. We were there Wednesday as Whole Foods opened up their first store in Tallahassee. The store welcoming hundreds of their first customers early Wednesday morning at their new store on Thomasville Road. You can see the people lined up well before 8 a.m. for the opening. Now, this is Whole Foods' 20th store in Florida. Many of the items sold at the new location come from local farms and distributors.
Well, this is the whole block all about food happening right now. A whole lot of fun. That is, if you've got the appetite for some fantastic food.
We're talking about this year's annual Greek Food Festival. It's going on right now. We caught up with a few of the attendees earlier today, enjoying some of the cultural performances as well as that delicious food.
It takes us back to our culture. It keeps us strong together. We love to share it, and it's so well received in Tallahassee and the surrounding areas.
We're heading out right after work here. You still got plenty of time to make it out. It's going on until 10 p.m. tonight and again tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. It's happening at the Holy Mother of God Greek Orthodox Church. That's at 1645 Phillips Road.
And if you can't make it out tonight, no worries. You can eat around the world the entire weekend. A bit of Greek fare you saw there and some Asian cuisine here. We want you to join us Saturday for the 2013 Experience Asia Festival. The whole WTXL News team will be out there from 10 a.m. until 5 in the evening. You'll find nonstop cultural performances and demonstrations. Plus, of course, the best Asian cuisine is from 10 to 5 at Bloxham and Lewis Parks. Admission is free, and we are a proud sponsor, so just please come on out, enjoy all the fun, and come say hi to the WTXL News team.
Maybe you'll be donning some special attire for it?
I may be.
Maybe.
A secret, though. Keep that in the hush.
Tease there. Well, either way, we're all going to be donning sunglasses tomorrow. Things are looking nice.
Yeah, you might want to find some shade to help out with the eye protection, because we're going to have a good deal of sunshine and a little bit of extra warmth.
Also been a little breezy if you're heading out tonight. Also the Luke Bryan concert, another big thing going on tonight at the Automobile Museum. It's a short sleeve kind of night or maybe a light sweater kind of night?
Short sleeve for now, maybe long sleeve if you're staying out late after the concert, after the Greek Food Festival, or anything else that you have planned. The later you're out, the cooler it's going to get, and we'll probably have comparable temperatures tonight to what we had this morning. 58 was the recorded low at Tallahassee Regional, and the high was 86. We had no rain today because of all the sunshine and just a few stray clouds here and there. We've actually gone up a degree from last hour in Tallahassee, 85. But in general, our temperatures will begin to drop. 83 in Valdosta, also an increase over last hour, and Thomasville is 81 degrees. Weather watchers chiming in with their reports across our region, including sections of Leon, Taylor County, right around that 80 mark. Lots of sunshine, few stray clouds elsewhere in Franklin and Gadsden County. So fairly uniform temperature spread right around 80. We're going to continue to see those readings decrease through the evening, especially after sunset. The sky will be clear by then in most cases. And of course, with the few clouds that we did have, certainly not enough moisture or development within those clouds to cause rain. So Titan radar has been quiet, and the temperatures have been warm but steadily falling. Again, very uniform from point to point, no big difference from north to south, coast or inland. And that's the way it's going to be for the night ahead, because our winds will be mostly light. That's going to allow the heat that we had today to escape through the atmosphere, which is still rather dry throughout all the levels. And that means we'll have a little bit of an enhanced cooling trend for the late night hours. If we get a breeze, that could slow down the cooling. That's kind of what happened this morning. We had a little extra moisture around, so more of us didn't get into the deep side of the lower 50s, but we will certainly get in on seasonable temperatures overnight, or maybe even slightly cooler in the interior. Average low is about 59, so most areas will be around that figure with that clear skies and periods of calm air around without wind. Tomorrow the sunshine resumes after sunrise, and the high pressure stays around with a light and variable wind, maybe a slight northerly component to the breeze. Shouldn't be incredibly strong because the close proximity of the high, that's basically where the calmest air is, and it should be right over Georgia for tomorrow. So now a whole lot of wind flow, perhaps warm enough though to trigger the sea breeze. So maybe a refreshing flow at the coast, and it should be a rather beautiful day with a lot of sunshine. Moisture trying to gather off to the west, but it's not going to have any major impact here through the next 48 hours. Forecast in focus, running through the data, trying to find cloudiness with very limited success. Maybe a few spots of clouds with the daytime heating, but overall we're looking at a very clear trend through Sunday as well. So the outside will be probably the prime place to be for much of the weekend, because we will have low humidity, ample amounts of sunshine, pretty comfortable if you don't mind a little extra warmth in the afternoon. Following morning temperatures, that will start off between 55 and 60 tonight, probably similar lows for Sunday morning, and highs that will get back between about 83 and 88 degrees. For the next few days, our afternoons stay fairly warm. There's no big push of cold northern air coming in, so because of that, our morning lows will begin to climb up the scale into the 60s. And then just a little trickle of moisture may try to come into our eastern areas Monday, Tuesday, then a broader front for midweek and beyond.
And again,
looking good in the neighborhood.
Not too bad this weekend and not too shabby in the extended
and a lot of stuff going on. All right, Cass, thank you much.
Okay.
Residents in Suwannee County outrage over a proposed medical waste facility. Their fear is that it will have a negative environmental impact that could make people sick. WTXL's Jade Balexa takes a closer look at the heated debate.
I would like to finish living my life here and die here. I want a place on the river. I don't want my children and my grandchildren to have to come here in a hazmat suit to visit my grave.
Wiley Grantham says he will fight to the end to stop a proposed medical waste facility from being built in Suwannee County. The president of Integrated Waste Management Systems Incorporated, Marvin J. Berry, wants to build the facility on the Catalyst site in Suwannee County, but residents say they don't want it because they believe it will pollute the environment.
We need the jobs, but not at the expense of our children, our grandchildren, or our community.
Berry says once completed, more than 100 jobs will be created.
And, you know, it kind of makes me a little angry when people bring these things up because they don't understand the science of these new facilities.
He says emissions won't pollute the water or atmosphere, and he doesn't see any long-term impacts.
The facility will not, through the stack, produce an ash that's going to layer the countryside with ash. That's just not true.
But residents with the No Bio in Suwannee County group say if the incinerators come, they will move to another county. Sunday, the group is having a town hall meeting that's open to the public at 3 p.m. at Millennium Park in Live Oak. Jade Balexa, WTXL ABC 27, dedicated to you.
Certainly keep you updated on the situation there, but still to come here on the news at 6. 12,000 tickets sold, and now the night is upon us, just hours away from one of the biggest high school football matchups all year.
Yeah, Sports Director Brad Daunt is going to be having a preview of Wintersville Classic when we come right back.
It's been a long dadgum time, but I'm coming home.
Join Florida State and WTXL ABC 27 in celebrating the return of Coach Bobby Bowden, October 25th and 26th. Friday, October 25th, join Coach Bowden and special guests for an evening at the Donald L. Tucker Center. Then Saturday the 26th, the legend returns to the field that bears his name for a triumphant homecoming you don't want to miss. Tickets are available for both events and won't last long. Visit Seminoles.com to reserve your seats today.
You score little victories every day. Now do it with dinner. Land O'Lakes Sauté Express Meal Starter with herbs, spices, butter, and olive oil for chicken pasta, beef stir fry, shrimp tacos, endless possibilities. Sauté Express in the dairy aisle.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Hoyne. It is often believed that PAD, peripheral arterial disease, is a greater problem for men than women. However, after menopause, the incidence of PAD in women becomes similar to men, and by age 75 it is double. The risk factors for PAD include smoking, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, aging, and diabetes. Call us or click on the VSA logo at WTXL.tv to find out more.
Sesame Street Live presents an all-new show, Can't Stop Singing. Come make a memory together. We give it 2 furry thumbs up.
Sing along with Elmo and Friends at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center, October 15th. Tickets on sale now.
The peak lapel seems to be suiting a lot more men these days. Perhaps because it's piquing the interest of a lot more women. Refresh your style at our store-wide buy one, get one free event. Men's Warehouse.
It's just a political game to Steve Sutherland, shutting down the federal government. It's easy for Steve Sutherland to play games when he said his $174,000 salary is not so much. He's still getting paid. But in Florida, he's risking jobs, retirement savings, even delaying veterans' benefits. It's irresponsible. Steve Sutherland puts jobs and retirement at risk while taking a huge salary he says is not so much. House Majority PACs responsible for the content of this advertising.
You score little victories every day. Now do it with dinner. Land O'Lakes Sauté Express Meal Starter with herbs, spices, butter, and olive oil for chicken pasta, skillet lasagna, shrimp tacos, endless possibilities. Sauté Express in the dairy aisle.
All right, huge night in Valdosta.
Yeah, this is one of those where if you go downtown Valdosta right about now, you're going to see signs in windows saying closed for football game. And it sounds like a joke, but it's actually very true. Everybody that wants to try and get into this game, and it's been shown because that ticket sold out in a hurry.
I mean, we're talking 12,000 tickets.
Yeah, and there's probably going to try and squeeze a few more in there if they possibly...
Scooch down the bleacher.
Yeah, there might be some people standing on the sidelines just trying to get any kind of action into this one because it's one of the most heated rivalries and one of the best games year in and year out. But we'll get to that one in just a second. You know, FAMU head football coach Earl Holmes, he's looking to shake things up a little bit to help the Rattlers break out of this current 4-game losing streak. That includes possibly making some changes to the starting lineup for tomorrow's game against Savannah State. Some of the younger players have shown flashes this season when they come in off the bench in backup roles. Well, now might be the time to increase their playing time and give some players the opportunity to see what they can do as starters.
It lets us know that we're recruiting the right guys, as well as, you know, the future looks good, but it's all about what's important now, and that's the win. That's what WIN means, you know, what's important now. So we're trying to get that W, and there's still a lot of football left. I shared with the guys, and I gave them, you know, the true reality.
Valdosta State 14-game winning streak came to an end last night as the Blazers fell on the road to West Alabama. The third quarter was the undoing for the Blazers. Valdosta State actually held the lead at the break, but after halftime, the Tigers scored on their first 3 possessions, racked up almost 250 yards in that quarter alone. VSU will look to bounce back next weekend as the Blazers once again hit the road when they will take on West Georgia. It's a very busy night for high school football with a number of teams in the area celebrating homecoming tonight. And the biggest game of all, well, it's up in Wintersville. Valdosta and Lowndes in their annual grudge match. The past 3 years, this game has been decided in the final 30 seconds of the game, including a game-winning field goal for the Vikings as time expired just last season. So if you're one of the close to 12,000 who were able to get a ticket, well, you're going to want to make sure you stay to the very end of this one because there's no telling what will happen. If you can't get to Martin Stadium, well, be sure and tune into ABC 27 tonight, 11:15. Dave Griffiths and I will be here with all the highlights from the area games, including that Wintersville Classic. Always one of the best year in and year out.
I remember the game last year, and the fans were like so pumped up during our live show.
I think last year a lot of people started to leave early, and then you just see them trying to rush back into the stadium when Lowndes was driving for that game-winning field goal.
All right, we will see what happens tonight. We're back after the break.
You love making a difference. That's what you do every day as an occupational therapy assistant. You help people of all ages with disabilities cope with their daily routines. Kaiser University can prepare you to work in schools, homes, and rehab centers, making a difference every day. Prepare for your new career now by calling Kaiser at 1-877-658-7332. 1-877-658-7332.
Whoa. Come here. I'm gonna try this cheese I got.
That is really good.
Right?
Yeah. Where'd you get this?
The Publix Deli. Comes from a special creamery on an island outside the UK.
A little sharp, nutty. It's probably got a really classy name, right? Hard to pronounce.
It's crazy.
Do it. Blow my cheese mind.
Are you
Hit
ready?
it. I'm ready.
Cheddar.
We went all the way to the Isle of Man to find the perfect specialty cheddar. It's the cheese upgrade you'll love, and so will everyone else. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Something special is happening here. A renewed spirit, where heart goes into everything we do. A lifetime of family memories aren't bought. They're grown right here. Wild Adventures. We are fun at heart.
Fall into fun with up to $35 off Wild Adventures 2014 Gold Season Pass, the guaranteed lowest price of the season. Then use it right now for Kidoween and Terror in the Wild. Offer ends October 31st, only at Wild Adventures.
What does it take to drive home in a vehicle with impressive fuel economy and great technology that helps you go further? Zero. During the Sign and Ride event at your Southern Ford dealers, get zero money down, zero cash due at signing, and pay zero on your first month's payment on a 2014 Ford Fusion. Lease Fusion for $279 with zero down, zero cash due at signing, and zero first month's payment. Or $199 a month with $25.24 cash due at signing at your Southern Ford dealer.
I'm Robin. And I'm Chris. We're the brothers behind the massive taste of Firehouse Subs Hook and Ladder Sub.
Smoked turkey breasts, Virginia honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese, all steam heated and piled high on a toasted sub roll.
So much flavor, it's guaranteed.
Our way beats their way. If you don't agree, it's free. Did I mention the taste is humongous?
My brother's big on flavor.
Try one today.
Or try one tonight.
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
I'm the one that came up with everything.
Skycam brought to you by Napleton Infinity, home of the 289 Infinity.
Even a bullet in the head couldn't stop her.
Who is Malala?
Tonight, the life-changing special event breaks on World News with Diane Sawyer. Then don't miss the Diane Sawyer 2020 special, Unbreakable, at 10/9 Central on ABC after Shark Tank.
Finally here at 6, so much stuff coming up this weekend, including City of Tallahassee's Hopkins Power Plant. They're hosting their annual open house coming up this weekend. You can get an inside look at the plant in action. A lot of people turn out, a couple thousand people each year turning out. It's coming up this year on Sunday from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. at the Hopkins Power Plant located on Getty Road. That's between highways 20 and 90. Details of this event and everything else going on this weekend up on our website, WTXL.tv. Greek Food Festival going on right now. Luke Bryan concert going on right now.
Asian Festival tomorrow.
Everything going on. And of course, nice weather.
Perfect.
Yes, I think we deserve the weather pattern that we have this weekend, considering last weekend and all the tropical worries. Yeah, you know, summertime thunderstorms, that's a thing of the past, and we're going to have dry, mild weather for Saturday and Sunday. Then next week, a little bit of rain tries to creep back, but nothing too major, at least at this time.
And gotta enjoy it. All right, thank you, Cass, and thank you for making WTXL your choice for news tonight.
Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you back here at 11.